One petite girl, three horrifying Polaroids, and a lifetime of unanswered questions. Today's video is about Tara Lee Calico, a University of Mexico student who disappeared in September 1988. The horrifying incident occurred along Highway 47 during Tara's daily bike ride. What made her disappearance more terrorizing were the disturbing Polaroids uncovered at various points during the investigation. So, what happened to the 19-year-old girl on this tragic Tuesday morning? Who kidnapped her and where is she now? Stick around to find all the answers to Tara Lee Calico's mysterious disappearance. Tara belonged to a mixed household with two brothers and two sisters. Her mother, Patty, had married John Dole and they had built a beautiful family together in Belen, New Mexico. Tara lived a normal life filled with family, friends, and school. That was until the dreaded morning of September 20th, 1988. Nothing seemed unusual as the 19-year-old hopped on her mother's pink bicycle at 9 a.m. to ride along New Mexico Route 47 in Valencia County. She told her family she'd return by lunchtime and even had tennis plans with her boyfriend around 12:30. Additionally, Tara didn't always ride alone. Her mother had accompanied her multiple times. However, after feeling like she was stalked by a motorist once, she was too scared to continue. This didn't deter Tara, who even refused to keep Mace with her for self-defense. But that afternoon, Dole sensed dread when her daughter missed her expected return time. After searching for herself, she finally contacted the Valencia County Sheriff's Department to report Tara missing. Upon initial investigation, witnesses came forth claiming they had seen Tara going north on Route 47 at around 11:45 a.m. One witness who contributed significantly to the initial investigation was Ishmael de la Rosa. He mentioned that a gray Ford camper van had slowly followed the young girl during her bicycle ride. He identified the driver as a middle-aged man with red hair, swollen red eyes, and a scar along his left eye that stretched to his temple. Another notable piece of information was about a bundle of pressed khaki shirts in the back, possibly belonging to law enforcement officials. However, Ishmael faced some hesitation from the officer in charge, Ray Flores, for taking his statement. Later, Ishmael underwent hypnosis and identified a suspect from a photo lineup. However, there was no response from the police to his follow-up calls. Meanwhile, a worried Patty kept looking for signs of her daughter on Route 47. She finally found a Boston tape cassette in the dirt and Tara's broken Walkman nearby. Despite this discovery, Patty could not find any further information on her daughter's whereabouts. Several months passed before there was any further lead on Tara's disappearance. But on June 15, 1989, a disturbing Polaroid emerged, lying upside down near a convenience store in Port St. Joe, Florida. The Polaroid contained a young girl strikingly resembling Tara, along with a 9-year-old boy duct taped and tied in a small space. When authorities examined the Polaroid, they confirmed that it was recent. But was the girl really Tara, and who was the little boy with her? Continue watching to uncover the mystery. When John and Patty looked at the Polaroid, they were certain it was their missing daughter. Patty confirmed her claims by indicating the scar on the girl's leg. According to her, Tara had a similar scar that she got from a car accident. On closer inspection, they noticed a book near the female titled My Sweet Audrina, written by Tara's favorite author. This further convinced the parents that the girl in the photo was indeed Calico. The little boy was initially identified as Michael Henry, who vanished in April 1988 while hunting. However, his remains were later discovered and he had died due to hypothermia. 3 investigative agencies looked at the photographs and gave conflicting verdicts. As per the Scotland Yard, the woman was confirmed as Tara. However, Los Alamos National Laboratory didn't agree. Meanwhile, the FBI neither confirmed nor denied if it was Calico. But this wasn't the only photographic evidence related to the case. 2 more appeared right after, which were even more horrifying. One showed a woman with a taped mouth against a striped light and dark background. The second one showed 2 people, a man and a captured woman on a train. The woman was in obvious distress and wearing black framed glasses. Her mouth was gagged and her arms were tied to her front. Yet none of those Polaroids officially became visual evidence of Tara. After years of searching for their daughter, Patty and John moved to Port Charlotte in 2003. And just 3 years later, Patty passed away without reuniting with her daughter or finding her whereabouts. To the surprise of many, Sheriff René Rivera, who had overseen Tara's case in 1996, asserted he knew what really happened to her. As per him, 2 teenagers had accidentally hit Tara. They then panicked and decided to kill her. Later, they threw her bike into a junkyard and involved 2 other men to dispose of her body in a pond. However, since the boys were well connected, the case wasn't pursued properly. Regardless of his claim, Tara's case remained cold. But in October 2013, a cold case task force reopened it because of a former deputy from Valencia County Sheriff's Department, Frank Methola. Methola claimed that a man named Henry Brown had made a confession on his deathbed. According to Brown, Tara's class fellow Lawrence Romero Jr. was his neighbor. Moreover, he had shown Brown a basement under his mobile property. As per Brown, Romero Jr.'s basement had a shallow grave covered by a tarp that could have been Tara's grave. Brown also confirmed that Romero and his friends said they had killed Tara when she had gone missing. They also knew Tara because she was their friend, Jeff Abeda's ex-girlfriend. Brown further mentioned 3 other men from Tara's class, Dave Silva, Leroy Chavez, and a red-headed man. Brown claimed that these 3 and Romero Jr. were responsible for Tara's death. However, Romero Jr. soon filled concrete in the basement to cover up his tracks. Additionally, Jr.'s father was the Valencia County Sheriff at the time and had covered up his son's crimes. But the gruesome tale doesn't end there. Next, we uncover another plot twist in this deadly story. Stay tuned. Melinda Escobel was one of Tara's classmates and was deeply affected by her disappearance. She later became a filmmaker and created a podcast called Vanished, the Tara Calico Investigation. Her podcast contained a transcript of a 2006 incident report from Methola. In this report, Brown's neighbor wasn't Romero Jr., but an individual called AJ. Brown had called the police due to a bee swarm for which he blamed his neighbor AJ. When the police said they couldn't help him with the problem, he made a surprising confession about a secret that he had kept for 20 years. It was similar to the previous story, with the basement and the grave. But the neighbor wasn't Romero Jr., but AJ. Brown even claimed that the mysterious AJ had hired someone to kill him in 2001, which scared him to silence. Regardless, Brown was dead by the time Escobel made this discovery, and AJ remained a mystery. After this revelation, Escobel disregarded Methola as a credible source due to his conflicting statements. In October 2019, the FBI announced a $20,000 reward for any intel regarding Tara's case. 2 years later, the Valencia County Sheriff's Office and the New Mexico State Police were informed about a new lead in Calico's case. It was a sealed warrant for private property in the county. Despite the solid leads and shreds of evidence, no arrests were made in Tara's case, and the whereabouts remain a mystery to this day. So, who do you think is responsible for this twisted tale of Tara's disappearance? Let us know your guess in the comments. And if you enjoyed this thrilling story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Remember, stay safe out there.